Good evening, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you to Mustang Arena for Varsity Women's Basketball Competition. Please welcome our guests from Lake Howell High School. They are the Silverhawks. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Before we begin our game this evening, we ask that you please stand as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? And now, let's meet the teams, beginning with our guests from Lake Howell. And starting at small forward with freshman number 1, Jules Anderson. At wing, freshman number 2, Sky Fournier. At center, freshman number 24, Sky Rodriguez. At center, 6'2" senior number 5, Kiara Cerdera. And finally, for the Silverhawks at guard, 5'5" junior number 3, Adriana Scriven. The head coach of the Silverhawks, Anna Lorenzano, with assistant coaches Keegan Brace and Aaron Salmon. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Wekiva High School Mustangs. Starting at shooting guard with 5'7" sophomore, number 0, Jasmine Puller. 6' sophomore, number 32, Sanaya Asanya. At power forward, 5'9", senior, number 24, Chi-Chi Wang. At small forward, 5'8", senior, number 3, Tiara Coleman. And finally for the Mustangs, at wing, senior, number 21, Zara Hercule. The Mustangs are coached by Jerry Middleton, with assistant coaches Virgilio Joseph and Heather Lorenz. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. We thank them for their dedicated service to our high school athletic programs and join them along with our participating schools, reminding everyone to make great sportsmanship a part of this and every athletic competition. Once again, those of you in the arena, We remind you that we are live streaming tonight's game on YouTube and the NFHS Network. If you have friends and family who are not able to join us in person for tonight's game and you'd like to send them a link, just tell them to look for the Wekiva Sports channel on their computer, smart TV, or mobile device. Just open up the YouTube app. It should come right up. We also, of course, are simulcasting on the NFHS Network. And we'd like to extend a warm welcome to those of you who've done just that. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School. These last 17 years, I'll be taking you through tonight's contest. And the Silverhawks are going to get to the opening possession of the game. Coleman's shot does not find the mark. Rebound goes to Scriven. Mustangs foul is called against number 0, Jasmine Pooler, her first, the team's first, with the Lions shooting 2. Is number 1, Jules Anderson. So Anderson puts the Silverhawks on the board. They lead 1-0 here in the first minute of the ball game. Both of these teams have a pretty good start so far as we get the pass to Tiara Coleman to put Wekiva on the board. Wekiva now takes the lead. Again, a good start for both of these programs, 3-2. For the Silverhawks so far. Wekiva 8-4. Their best start under Coach Middleton since he took over the program. Wekiva has some returning talent from last season, so hoping to put some continuity together. And in a bit of an unusual scheduling move, pretty much all of Wekiva's home games are here in these middle 2 weeks of the season. They had a series. They had the preseason classic. They hosted one game here at Wekiva. Then they had a whole series of road games to start the year, and they're going to end the year on another series of road games. Pretty much the vast majority of their home season taking place last week and this week. And now we're going to get a Silverhawks foul called against number 5, Kiara Sedera. That's her first, the team's first. That will send the Mustangs to the free throw line. This is Sanaya Sanya shooting 2. First, nothing but net. Of course, if you're still getting used to this year's rules, a small rule change this year for high school basketball. It applies equally to both the boys and the girls, and that is that we have switched to using FIBA rules for bonus. No longer using NCAA men's rules. So previously, when we were using NCAA men's rules, it was 1-and-1 bonus on the 7th foul in the half, 2-shot bonus on the 10th foul in the half. We are now using FIBA rules, which are the same as NCAA women's, and that is 2-shot bonus on the 5th foul of each quarter, with the fouls resetting back to 0 at the beginning of each quarter rather than each half. So we'll see if that makes any difference here tonight. So far, it does not appear to have had major consequences on the overall flow of games in the early season, but of course, each game different. Jasmine Pooler gets in the way of that one, slaps it away from Jules Anderson. Wekiva continues to enjoy a 3-point advantage. Not a high-scoring game so far here, but the Wekiva defense so far putting up a very effective perimeter. Lake Howell has yet to get a field goal. Now Scriven has some time to think about it. Pooler puts on the pressure. And we're going to get a screen set up and some contact. Somebody's getting a foul, and I think it's going to be the Silverhawks. Team control foul for moving screen is called against Sky Rodriguez. That's her first, the team's second, and turns the ball over to the Mustangs. Tierra Coleman takes the ball over the front court, has the corner there with Pooler. Nothing there. Swing action. Back to Pooler. Started to take the three, ended up taking a short jumper instead. That's not there, but Tierra Coleman on the second chance basket. She has 2/3 of the Mustangs' offensive output so far, and now coming down the baseline, that's Jules Anderson. So a quick answer, Lake Howell puts their first field goal on the board, 6-3, one possession ball game, 3 minutes in here at Mustang Arena. Coleman slips, nearly gets called for traveling, but manages to keep her pivot foot down. Now Coleman in the corner, a lot of pressure coming on from Sedera. Wekiva resets, looking for the patience there. Still no shot clock in high school basketball. Coleman still doesn't like what she has. Goes out to Pooler, releases the tray. That's not there. Coleman gets a lucky bounce off of Anderson. Pulls in the rebound, now out to the corner again. Nothing there in the baseline. Hercule gets rid of it just before stepping out of bounds. And Coleman releases the tray wide right, or excuse me, wide left. So Wekiva got 3 looks at that one, but good perimeter put up by the Silverhawks, and now 3 for Sky Fournier. That'll even things up. Both of these teams really forcing the perimeter shooting tonight so far. Neither team letting the other get any penetration into the key. We'll see if the coaches are able. That's pretty common in the early part of games when coaches have not had a chance to feel each other out yet. We'll see after we get a couple of timeouts, maybe a quarter break, if the two coaches are able to adapt to each other's defenses. But as of right now, both schools putting up a wall. Now Fournier lets a wild shot go off the glass. No contact with the rim, though, and trying to get the outlet pass to Asanya. Maybe outthought the room a little bit there. Nearly lost the ball to a turnover. Asanya pulls it back down and manages to draw the foul. So Wekiva, in something of a toss-up situation, comes away with the advantage. Jules Anderson is called in her first personal foul. It's the team's third, and we'll pause for a 30-second timeout requested by the Mustangs. Back with more from Mustang Arena in a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's tie ball game, 6-6. Lake Howell with a tray, a deuce, and a free throw. And now, I don't know what Coach Middleton told them in the timeout, but I don't think that was it. Meanwhile, at the other end, Scraben releases a wild three and can't connect. That'll go out of bounds. Mustangs take over. There's the inbound from Asanya. No full court pressure coming on either side so far. Pooler in the corner gets double teamed. In trouble, nearly taken away by Anderson. Mustangs trying to make something out of nothing, but Asanya puts a little too much heat on, and Scraben comes up with the rebound. Now going the other way, trying to make a transition basket happen. Contact, and it looks like we're going to get a foul. Hold is called against Mustangs. Chi-Chi Wang, her first, the team's second. That will send Adriana Scraben to the line, shooting 2 for the Silverhawks. First attempt rims out. Score remains tied. Opportunity to take the lead here for Scraven. And she does. Now the first substitution of the game coming in as Wekiva sends in Bracayla Anderson. Mustang basket by Bracayla Anderson. Right sub at the right time. No action there for the Silverhawks, and they're going to say the Silverhawks touched it last. And based on the instant replay, I'd agree with that assessment. Fournier had the last touch, so Wekiva will take over from their own baseline. To the outside again, count it! Chi-Chi Wang to Bracayla Anderson, 3! And that's a shot in the arm for Wekiva. Now taken away, and nobody in front of her. There's Coleman, easy pickings. Tiara Coleman steals a layup for the Mustangs, and we'll pause for a timeout. 30-second timeout requested by the Silverhawks. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Trey is not there for Scraven, and Silverhawks not able to stay in bounds on the rebound. In fact, loose ball foul is called against Kara Sedera. That's her second, the team's fourth. So Coach Lorenzano taking the timeout there just moments ago. Not happy with the run that Wekiva's on. I believe that's a 6-1 run if I've been doing the math in my head correctly. And now stripped away from Anderson. Pooler takes the breakout pass, gets it down to Coleman. Nobody there. That's Pooler to Coleman for the breakaway layup. That's twice now Wekiva's been able to get a transition opportunity after a steal. Spin move and a foul. Foul's called against Mustangs, number 32, Sanaya Sanya, her first personal foul. The team's third. That sends Adriana Scraven to the line, shooting 2 for the Silverhawks. First one is a miss. And now Sedera comes out as the Silverhawks make their first substitution of the game. Second one finds the mark for Scraven. That's Ashley Brock that just came in wearing the number 4 jersey. 30 seconds to go here in the first. Held ball, possession Mustangs. Loose ball. Anderson's able to recover it, and then the shot from the Mustangs is tipped. Second chance basket by Jasmine Pooler. And that will be the last word of the first period. After a 6-6 tie earlier in the period, the Mustangs break away on a run. That'd be an 11-2 run. 17-8 is your score at the end of the opening 8 minutes here on Tuesday night basketball action. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Silverhawks have the opening possession of the second quarter. So again, the Mustangs ending the previous period on an 11-2 run. That's given them the 17-8 advantage here in the early second period. Right now, Tiara Coleman leads the Mustangs. She's got about half of their total offensive production, and now blocked by Sanaya Asanya. Transition opportunity if the Mustangs can get down there fast enough. Wide open in the corner, and Coleman is off the heel. Mustangs not able to get anybody under the basket to box out in time. So a lost transition opportunity for Wekiva there. Still a momentum swing, though. And now a missed pass, the bounce pass from Anderson to Scraben, misdirected there. That's a backcourt violation. Mustangs ball. So there's another subtle rule change for you. The bonus rule is obviously the bigger deal. You see the fouls have been cleared since the end of the first period. The other more subtle change that you may not notice is the throw-in locations have been changed. Talk about that more after the foul. Foul called against number 3, Adriana Scraven. It's her first personal foul, the team's first of the period. So now, in a situation like that, there are now 4 designated throw-in points on each half of the court, which you can see designated by the little hash marks. That's a change from last year where the referee had to use his or her judgment to figure out the closest point from where the infraction occurred. Foul is again called against Adriana Scraven. That's now her second and the team's second of the period at the line shooting 2, number 23. This is Michaela Bell at the line, and she hits 1 of 2. And I don't know whether she was trying to do that or not, but Jasmine Pooler nevertheless causes a disruption in the dribble. And that's a beautiful layup. That is Michaela Bell floating one in for 2. And now a Scraven splash for 3. So Silverhawks finally off the ground for the second period, and they do so in a big way. Scraven redeems herself from the 2 fouls on the previous possession with the tray. And now the takeaway by Anderson will set up another Scraven basket. That's Adriana Scraven from Jules Anderson. So things go right for the Silverhawks on a couple of possessions in a row. They've closed it to a 7-point ball game, 3-possession game now for Wekiva. 5.5 to go here in the second period. And now Anderson again causing all kinds of problems for the Mustangs on defense. Coming away with the steal again, but not for long. Tierra Coleman has an opportunity to get a transition, and she does. That's Tierra Coleman to Jasmine Pooler for the stolen layup. We've seen that happen a couple of times. The Mustangs getting those transition layups off the steals. Now Wekiva again moving quickly through traffic. Coleman gets her dribble broken up by Brock. Out to the top, and there it is. That is Jasmine Pooler, 3 from Michaela Bell. 7 points now for Pooler. She's right up there with Coleman, who has 8. Anderson with 5, and Bell now with 3. Timeout, Silverhawks, full timeout. Back with more from Mustang Arena in just a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Parchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with you for this Tuesday evening basketball action. Full timeout taken there by Coach Lorenzano. That leaves the Silverhawks with 3 timeouts remaining. Mustangs have 4 of theirs. Got to check out why the timeout pips are not appearing at the bottom of your screen. Mustang foul is called against Tierra Coleman, her first, team's first of the second quarter. There we go. 3 timeouts left for the Silverhawks. A little graphic glitch there. Nothing there for Fournier, and Asanya comes up with it. Mustangs are going to see if they can't get one off Fournier, but he gets there, and they do. That's Asanya to Tierra Coleman. 3! Coleman now the first Mustang into double figures for the day. Gives Wekiva a 15-point advantage, 28-13 with 3.5 to go. And now Pooler does exactly what they teach you to do in basketball school. And that is to grab the ball diving out of bounds and then bounce it off the other player's shin so they can't get it back. But it also makes them the last one to touch it. To the center, Asanya, too much heat. Looking for the Windex work, it's not there, and the rebound goes to Rodriguez. Team control foul is called against the Silverhawks. Number 24, Sky Rodriguez, that's her second. Team's third of the quarter. Pooler coming up with a rebound, looking for a transition opportunity, and it's fouled. Jasmine Pooler tries to go coast to coast, but does draw the foul on the way up. She'll go to the line and shoot two for the Mustangs. Foul is called against Silverhawks. Number 2, Sky Fournier. That's her first, the team's fourth of this period. First is a miss for Pooler. Second one finds the mark. Trey is released and off the heel from Scraben. Wang on the rebound. Held ball. Possession Mustangs. For Tierra Coleman. 14 for her tonight now. 90 seconds or so left in the first half. And we get some contact. Foul's called against Mustangs. Number 3, Tierra Coleman, her second, the team's second of this period. And another missed connection between Anderson and Scraben. That'll be an unforced turnover there. $1:25 to go in the first half. Asanya, spin move, not there. And the rebound will go to Rodriguez. Asanya on the rebound after Anderson unable to come up with a bucket there. Wang spins around, doesn't have anything, and now the Mustangs with a misconnection and nobody there to stop Jules Anderson on the stolen layup. So Wekiva with a rare misstep there. They are, however, in a position where they can afford it. Coleman doesn't have anything in the corner. To Asanya in the middle, doesn't like that either. Coleman released the tray, it's there! Tiara Coleman, 3 from Sanaya Asanya. 17 points, and we're not even to halftime. Coleman also gets a block, and that takes us to halftime. 35-15, it's a 20-point ball game for the Mustangs, headed into the break here on Tuesday Night Basketball action from Mustang Arena. Back with more after the break. The Silverhawks have the first possession of the second half. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with you for the second half. And after a kind of mixed start with a back and forth contest and neither team really able to find the basket, Wekiva started a run late in the first period that continued all through the second, and they now are up 20. Transition layup by Tiara Coleman. Foul's called against Jasmine Pooler, her second, the team's first of this period. Anderson is fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two for the Silverhawks. Mustangs foul is called against Chi-Chi Wang. That's her second, the team's second of this period. First one finds the mark. Second does as well. So Lake Howell strikes first here, or rather answers in the third quarter. Still a 20-point ball game, 37-17 as we dip under 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. And both of these teams with a pretty good opening. Lake Howell with a 3-2 opening for their season so far. They've got a winning record as Tiara Coleman hits a jumper. Mustangs, meanwhile, has their best start of the Jerry Middleton era. Basket from Sky Fournier. Eight and 4 for Wekiva. They've won 2/3 of their games. Again, that's best start since Coach Middleton took over. And Wekiva, really for the first time since Coach Middleton took over, is a legitimate contender for making some noise in the playoffs. The district championship is not out of the question, and possibly a run into the playoffs. So we'll see how Wekiva finishes. Obviously, they'll need to add a little bit more consistency and oomph to their performance in order to challenge some of the most elite teams in their region, but they certainly have the makings of a team that could make some headlines in the postseason when we get to late February. Beautiful baseline pass. That's Tiara Coleman to Sanaya Asanya. 4 points for Asanya tonight. And Silverhawks got a little too far under the basket before that one was released. Coleman short on this attempt. Good box out action, but first rule of rebounding, don't fight your own player. Scraven launches, it's short. Asanya with a rebound, now an opportunity. Bell fouled on the transition attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against Adriana Scraven on the block. It's her third personal foul. Team's first of this period. Easy work of the first. Second falls as well. Five points for Bell now, and Wekiva continues to add to their lead. Traveling, Mustangs ball. Mustangs will get the ball at half court. Again, that's part of the changes to the throw-in rule. It does not necessarily go to the closest spot to the infraction on the end line or the sideline or end line. Instead, it goes to one of four designated markers on each half of the court. Push is called against Silverhawks number 5, Kiara Cerdera. That's her third personal foul, team's second of this period. And now another foul. Kiara Cerdera is now called on her fourth personal foul. It's the team's third of this period. Pooler from the corner gets her shot tipped away by Cerdera, and Fournier is going to take it out to the front court for the Silverhawks. Now swatted away by Coleman. She's got nothing but daylight in front of her, and it's an easy layup. Tiara Coleman. 23 points for Tiara Coleman, and we will pause for a Silverhawks timeout. Full timeout called by Lake Howell. Back with more from Mustang Arena in a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Wekiva off to a good start for the third period. They lead 10-4 coming out of the break. 45-19 the score overall. And Wekiva is now within 10 points of trigger and running clock. Coleman wide open and easily steals the layup. Let's see that one again. Tiara Coleman for two. Swing and a miss. Or to misplace a football metaphor, the receiver did not run the route. Mustangs take over at their own baseline. 3 minutes and change to go here in the third quarter. Asanya, tallest person on the court right now, lets the ball go a little too far under the rim, and now we're going to get a held ball. Possession Mustangs. Checking into the game for Lake Howell. Number 1, Jules Anderson. Mustangs not able to take advantage of the stolen possession. Sonia gets the rebound. And now Wekiva commits the unforced turnover. To the paint, contact, and yeah, I think half a foul each go to Coleman and Bell, but referee's going to have to pick one, and that is Michaela Bell called with the foul. Her first, the team's third, and that will send the Silverhawks to the free throw line. This will be Ashley Brock shooting 2. But first, 30-second timeout called by Lake Howell. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. 47-19 the score here as we go to the free throw line. First one rims out for Ashley Brock. Second one finds its way in as the iron is kind. Mustangs back to work now. Beautiful inside pass. That's Michaela Bell to Tiara Coleman. Make it 27 for her. She's going to get to 30 points at the base she's going at. Easy pick for game MVP. Pooler sets up Anderson for what could have been. But Michaela Anderson is called on the foul. That's her first, team's fourth this period. Anderson, and one. Michaela Anderson, and one. Foul's called against Ashley Brock, her first, the team's fourth. And score the three-point play. Now a 32-point ball game. Tiara Coleman doing it all by herself. And everything happened except the basket going in on that one. Michaela Anderson had a good look at it. That was some defensive hustle, though, by Tiara Coleman, way down in the corner of enemy territory. 70 seconds to go here in the third, and there's Pooler, nothing in front of her. Count the layup. Jasmine Pooler steals a Mustang layup. 10 points in the books for her tonight. Stolen by Tiara Coleman. Coleman to Pooler. And just like that, we have entered running clock territory. Clock will now only stop for timeouts, end of quarter, and other extended disruptions of the game. Foul is called against number 10. Kayla Anderson is called on the foul. That's her second and the team's fifth. All right, so we've now reached the end of the quarter because of the running clock, so that means we'll clear the key. But we'll still finish the free throws. And now we're done. That takes us to the end of the third quarter. Back with the final 8 minutes in a moment. Silverhawks have the opening possession of the fourth period. Well, not for long, though. Michaela Bell steals the layup. Again, as a reminder, running clock rules are in effect, so clock will only stop for timeouts or other extended disruptions of play. Traveling, Hawks ball. For those of you here in the arena, we'd like to remind you if you're depending on a ride to get home from tonight's game and you've not already done so, please make sure you give them a call. Let them know we have 7 minutes to go. And we appreciate your help getting our arena closed and our administrators home to their families. Traveling, Mustangs ball. So the Mustangs, like I said, had a slow start. It took them and Coach Middleton maybe about half of a quarter to really figure out the Lake Howell defense. And once they figured out how to crack through it, that's been pretty much it. Wekiva has dominated the rest of the game. They've had a number of transition opportunities, a number of breakaways, I don't have the official statistics in front of me, but turnovers certainly favoring the Mustangs, particularly in the category of forced turnovers. Tiara Coleman has been brilliant on both sides of the ball tonight. She has a number of steals to her name, a couple of assists, 27 points. Michaela Bell at the line. That's her 8th and 9th points. Chi-Chi Wang breaks away. Got it. Chi-Chi Wang steals a layup for the Mustangs. Nearly gets another one. Basket by Sky Rodriguez. Foul called against Ashley Brock, her second, the team's second. At the line shooting 2, Brickayla Anderson. Brickayla Anderson. Answered by Brooklyn Bibb. Full timeout called by the Silverhawks. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. We are in the closing 2 minutes. Beautiful pass and bumpsies, and Sky Rodriguez from Brooklyn Bibb gets the basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. The foul is called against Mustangs number 22, Whitney August. That's her first, the team's first of this period. So there, a little bit of nerves catching up as nobody except Raquela Anderson seemed to remember that was a three-point play as there was only one free throw. Put back, there it is. That's Chalissa Miles for two. Nice to see some players coming off the bench and getting some scoring action in the book. Now fading away, Rodriguez can't get it to fall, and Sky Rodriguez gets her own putback and another chance at a three-point play. Foul this time is called against Mustangs number 33, Paris Blackwood. That's her first, team second. That's a miss. Miles on the rebound. Swing action, and too much heat, but the putback made by Chalissa Miles. Brooklyn Bibb rolls in a deuce. Raquela Anderson, stop, pop, and drop. And that takes us to the end of the ball game. We'd like to thank everyone for coming out to support your Mustang and Silverhawk athletes. Special thanks also to those of you who joined us on YouTube or the NFHS network. We will be back with you later this week. We've got more basketball action coming your way. In particular, we hope that you will join us on YouTube or the NFHS network tomorrow night as the girls are right back at it on back-to-back nights at home. They'll take on the Lake Minneola Hawks. Coming up tomorrow night at 6 and 7:30, the varsity game will once again be broadcast on YouTube or the NFHS network. Special thanks to Mark Washington and his crew at Wekiva TV Broadcast Production, bringing you the video aspects of this evening's coverage. For those of you in the arena, please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Those of you watching online, please subscribe before you go. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter or X, and YouTube at Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. Have a great night from Mustang Arena.